I'm going to tell you about the St. Martin's window, probably one of the oldest windows in our church. The window features right at the center our patron saint, Bishop Martin of Tours. Before he was even converted, or before he was baptized, he was an officer in the Roman Imperial Army, and he was on duty near Amiens in France, and one day he saw this cold beggar outside the city gates. So he took his sword and cut his cloak in half and gave half to the beggar. And that's kind of one of the singular stories always told about Martin. Then you see on the two lancets to one side or the other of Martin, see the onlookers. But then way over to the right side, we see Genevieve, a saint in France, that Dr. Washburn picked because of his great interest in France. And we see up in the background the church where she was buried in Paris, that little image to the side. Now, over on the left side, we see Elizabeth of Hungary, who, like Martin, cared about the poor, and we see her giving out food to the poor there. Then on the bottom, we see saints that were important in British church lore, British church history. But way up at the top, we see our parish seal, and you see on the far upper right side, the half cloak. And then you see across the middle, the bishop's staff has replaced the sword. And then on the bottom center are towers, which represent Martin being the Bishop of Tours, which means towers. And on the upper left hand, the anchor, which is part of the Diocese of Rhode Island symbolism, the anchor of hope, showing this to be a church that is in Rhode Island. The thing about Dr. Washburn was he was a man of exquisite tastes and very fastidious in his personal style. And we can see some of the exquisite details around this building that reflected that. The designer of the window was Harry E. Goodhue. And Harry E. Goodhue, I think, was recommended by Bishop Perry to the rector, because Perry thought he was the best window designer. And he designed this window, but then he died before it could be executed. And so in 1919, his widow, Mary Louise Goodhue, executed this window according to his design. This is one of Goodhue's more conservative windows. He also designed some, you might say, very avant-garde windows with a lot of exciting new kinds of designs in it. But this was kind of a quiet but beautiful window.